Namaskar, friends. Today we are going to deal with organizational strategy and crisis. First is the corporate profiles. Organizations can adopt one of these three basic profiles, each with its own advantages, disadvantages, and crisis potentials. Is it a single industry, multiple related industries, or multiple unrelated industries? So one is a single industry. Advantage is specialization. Focusing on one industry allows organizations to develop deep, specialized knowledge and expertise. Disadvantage is vulnerability. Success in a single industry can make organization easy target to critics, potentially leading to negative public opinion. Multiple related industries, risk mitigation. Diversifying into related industries reduces reliance on a single industry, helping to offset downturns in business cycles. Synergy. Related diversification can lead to increased effectiveness and efficiency by integrating complementary business units. Expanding product service lines or acquiring related businesses. Disadvantages is integration challenges. Creating synergy can be difficult, especially if one of the businesses has experienced a significant crisis. Multiple unrelated industries. Advantages is risk distribution. Spreading resources across different markets reduces overall company risk. Disadvantages increase crisis potential. Expanding into unrelated industries may lead firms into unfamiliar territory, increasing likelihood of mismanagement and crisis. Corporate strategies. After determining an organization's corporate profile, the next step is to establish its corporate strategy. There are three main strategic options: growth, stability, retrenchment. Growth. Definition is a strategy aimed at increasing organization size. Types of growth: internal growth, external growth. Internal growth is achieved by increasing revenues, profit production capacity, workforce. External growth accomplished through mergers, acquisitions. Advantages: growth can increase public visibility and popularity, which boosts consumer trust in the organization. Challenges: higher visibility can make the organization more vulnerable to negative public attention, criticism on social media, or extortion. Crisis from the strategic alliances. Strategic alliances such as partnerships or joint ventures enable firms to share costs, risks, and benefits of some new opportunities. These arrangements can lead to crisis if roles and contributions are unclear, vulnerabilities and crisis management plans are not explicitly addressed. Examples are global outsourcing partnership, franchisee agreements, marketing collaborations. Stability is another one, a strategy to maintain the current size and operations of the organization, often temporarily. When stability is adopted during periods of political and economic uncertainty. After rapid growth or to consolidate gains and manage resources effectively. For examples are many firms adopt a stability strategy in the early 2010 due to aftermath of mortgage crisis and increased regulatory changes. Retrenchment, a response strategy focused on reducing the size of the organization. Triggers for retrenchment: economic crisis, such as significant decline in sales, acute crisis, fires and major disasters, negative publicity, product recalls. Purpose: retrenchment helps organizations stabilize operations and recover from revenue declines caused by internal or external crisis. So these are the corporate strategies. Forms of retrenchment. So turnaround, divestment, and liquidation. What is turnaround? A conservative approach aimed at transforming the organization into a leaner, more efficient operation. Key actions: eliminating unprofitable product services, reducing workforce, cutting distribution costs, pruning assets, reassessing product lines, and target consumer groups. Crisis management perspective: a turnaround strategy includes strategic initiatives to improve performance in specific areas as deemed necessary by the management. Divestment is selling one or more units to another firm. When it's used, the industry is in decline, business unit drains resources from more profitable units. The unit is underperforming or lack synergy with other corporate holdings. Purpose is to streamline operations, focus on core profitable areas, and the liquidation, terminating a business unit by selling its assets, considered the most extreme form of retrenchment. It's only under severe crisis when no other options are available. Consequences: shareholders and creditors incur financial losses. Managers and employees lose their jobs. Suppliers lose customer or consumer. Local communities experiencing increased unemployment and reduced tax revenue. So it's a final consideration. Liquidation is a last strategy and should be adopted only when there is no other retrenchment options available. So the business level strategies are corporate level strategies, the industries in a firm. Business level strategy focuses on whom the company should serve, what needs should be satisfied, how core competencies can be developed and positioned to meet customer needs. The first step in formulating a business strategy is selecting a broad or generic strategy to compete with rivals, and then fine-tuning it to leverage the organization's unique resource. Porter actually talks about generic strategy framework. One is a cost leadership, where we produce basic, no-frill products and services. Appeals primarily to price-sensitive consumers. So challenges are susceptible to price competition, especially from large rivals. Cost-cutting pressures may lead to quality compromises. Crisis challenges lead to global outsourcing, and so on. When we focus on low-cost strategy, the focus is achieving on low cost, while serving in a narrow segment. Businesses tend to be smaller compared to those following a broad low-cost strategies. Challenges are, again, customers' complaints about quality may rise, if perceived as being cheap, and smaller firms have less buffering power compared to larger companies. Differentiation strategies focuses on producing products and services that stands out from the competitors. Places a higher emphasis on quality over cost price, and again, challenges are abrupt shifts in consumer taste poses significant risk. Differentiation often incurs higher cost, which can restrain resources during a crisis. If you understand the low cost and differentiation, it's just like you have Rolls-Royce, which is a differentiation strategy. They do not produce very large amount, while Toyota Corolla, it was low cost strategy, where they will be produce a large amount of cars. So they will get a minimum profit from each car, and when multiplied by that's more on economies of scale, and differentiation is more on economies of scope. So the Rolls-Royce will get a bigger margin from the smaller amount of cars they are selling. Focus differentiation strategy that targets a niche market, which is distinctive high quality products or services. Companies tend to be smaller and more specialized, just like Rolls-Royce. Challenges and crisis vulnerabilities. Smaller firms are more vulnerable to major crises due to limited resources. A single crisis event can severely impact or even decimate the company. Then there is a possibility of low cost and differentiation. Combining these strategies is often not advisable, as it risks being stuck in the middle. Cost cutting may compromise quality, while differentiation efforts may erode the cost leadership in foundation. And challenges are combining the risks of both low cost and differentiation strategies, difficult to execute, and places greater strain on the crisis management efforts. So it's possible, but it's more risky. So these are the main strategies, business strategies, companies employ. Then there is strategic control. Strategic control plays a crucial role in crisis management process. The primary goal is to assess the effectiveness of an organization's strategies in achieving its goals and objectives. Through this process, the implementation of strategies is monitored, and necessary adjustments are made to align the organization's objectives. So the key aspects of strategic control is, one is identifying the gaps. So strategic control helps identify discrepancies between intended strategies and realized strategies. These gaps are addressed to refine the realign the organization's approach. So guiding organizational direction is strategic managers use control mechanisms to make minor adjustment to prevent potential crisis. In the event of an Ongoing crisis, more drastic measures such as altering the organization's strategic direction may be required. Why strategic control is essential? One is performance evaluations. It provides benchmarks and reliable performance metrics to assess how well the organization is achieving its objectives. Without strategic control, organizations lack clear indicators of success or areas requiring improvement. And addressing uncertainty in a dynamic environment, managers cannot always predict the future accurately, so the strategic control serves as an early warning system, highlighting when the environmental uncertainties are negatively impacting the organizational performance. What is strategic control process? Step one is identify factors to track. Strategic control involves monitoring external and internal dimensions. The goal is to adjust the company's operations to effectively defend against emerging external threats. Best analysis, political, economic, social, and technological trends serves as a tool to understand macro environmental factors and devising appropriate corporate and business strategies. Significant changes in these external factors may necessitate shifts in the organization's strategy and crisis management preparedness. Develop standards and benchmarks. Top management must identify key performance indicators to represent organizational performance. These key performance indicators may include financial metrics such as revenues, expenses, and profitability, and operational metrics such as machine breakdowns, quality scores, and safety incidents. Employee well-being and indicators such as accident rates, absenteeism, and workplace injuries. Goals should be pre-designated, and benchmarks may be set by comparing internal performance with industry standards. Tracking helps detect early warning signs. So the measure performance can be quantitative or qualitative. Performance should be evaluated using both quantitative metrics, revenue growth, market share, qualitative customer satisfaction, employee morale. So the balanced scorecard approach includes a wide range of performance indicators: return on assets, customers' loyalty, innovation, and speed. Each indicator is assigned with a specific weight and measurement method, ensuring a holistic assessment. Key challenge is a focus on one metric should not undermine others. For instance, reducing spending on equipment and training to boost short-term profit can increase the risk of accidents, which may ultimately jeopardize the organization's long-term sustainability. So, this structured approach ensures that organizations can effectively monitor performance, anticipate challenges, and align their strategies to mitigate crisis proactively. Compare measurements to goals and benchmarks. Comparing actual results with the pre-established goals or benchmarks is critical for identifying potential crises. While industrial measures are necessary to prevent accidents, financial controls are equally important in detecting and deterring managerial fraud. Controls are effective only if they are implemented and taken seriously. Step 5 is the active corrective action. Strategic control emphasizes continuous improvement, focusing on enhancing the long-term efficiency and effectiveness of the organization. Proactive approach, strategic control that is not limited to crisis scenarios. Managers should critically evaluate strategic controls and seize opportunities to enhance performance, even during normal operations. Linking strategy and crisis management. When the crisis occurs, top management must address immediate situation and assess the firm's strategy to mitigate future crises. And early crisis detection is important. Obvious signals include sales declines due to product boycotts. Subtle signals include organization-specific indicators such as absenteeism levels, product return rates. Corrective action and early anticipation. Exercising strategic controls involves measuring performance, comparing results, implementing corrective action. And the preventive measures is managers should anticipate potential corrective actions before implementing a strategy to minimize threats and prevent minor issues from escalating into crisis. This structured approach ensures that organizations remain vigilant, proactive, and capable of addressing both immediate and long-term changes effectively. So strategic control is required, both in the preventive major points, but there are a lot of other things, examples, details in the textbook which will be useful to understand the material in detail. Thank you very much. This is Dr. V signing off.